Do you think the Cowboys are the team most likely to be upset?
Yeah, I do. And I think when you think about the matchup, when you get to the playoffs, everything's about matchups. And what the San Francisco 49ers want to do offensively and defensively matches up pretty well with the Cowboys and what they want to do. And so when you just watched the game last weekend from the 49ers and the Rams, Jimmy G had that signature drive, right? Down late's got to go make plays. Mm-hmm. He made enough plays to get them over the hump to finally get that to get the win. That's a big deal for this organization. If you think about the Cowboys, the last 5 games, 4 of them have been NFC East opponents, which they have demolished. All good. That's what they do. They're 6-0, and I think they got a 22-point victory lead or something over each of those opponents. The problem is you throw Arizona right in the middle that came to Dallas and put it on them pretty good, and they played a similar style of what San Francisco wants to play. That should give Cowboys fans some level of concern. When I think about Dak Prescott, I think he'll play well. I don't take anything away from Dak Prescott. I think he'll continue to do what he knows how to do. They lack physicality and they lack explosive plays right now in Dallas. That's concerning for me. So I would tell you, if there is a team that I would say, hey, be on alert, make sure you play your best game to get yourself out of this first round of the playoffs. Just because of the matchup itself, for me, I would say the Cowboys.
Look, Jeff, I had a chance to watch, just like you, the Cowboys played the Philadelphia Eagles the last game of the year. Philadelphia obviously didn't have all their guys in there, but I like what Dallas was able to do. It looked crisp, despite not having Michael Parsons in the lineup. He'll be back against the San Francisco 49ers, and I clearly understand what you're saying. But when you look at the San Francisco 49ers against the Rams in a win-to-get-in football game, they emptied the kitchen sink to beat the Rams.
Sure.
Okay, and Matthew Stafford was trying to give them the football game, and they wind up emptying the kitchen sink. I don't know that they're going to – I know what Vegas is saying, but I don't know that they can go to Dallas and take care of business the way that they did against the Rams, because I don't know that the Dallas Cowboys will allow them to. And I know everybody's a Cowboy America team. Stephen A. probably sitting, like Charlie said, sitting at home just grinning and laughing and doing all those sort of things. In the end, the Dallas Cowboys understand what's on the line. Dak Prescott is a $100 million quarterback, and you know best, Jeff, when you pay a quarterback this type of money, including an offensive line that's probably $400 million, an offensive lineman, 2 receivers that's another $20 million, a running back that's another $20 million. When you got all of that in DeMarcus Lawrence and Michael Parsons and Diggs, they got the better roster and the better team. Do they have the better coach is the real question. Do they have the better coach?
You think that's all it comes down to?
Is Mike McCarthy going to screw it up or take him to the next step? I think he takes him to the next step.
You think Mike McCarthy is the only disadvantage that the Cowboys have in this matchup?
I do. They got the better quarterback. Essentially, they probably got the better running back. They got the better receivers. Maybe on the defensive side of the ball. They got the better. If Zeke is cooking and Pollard is cooking.
Deebo Samuel, come on.
But Deebo Samuel's a Swiss Army knife. He's not a running back.
That's the problem. That's the problem, is right now neither Zeke nor Pollard have played well. Their offensive line has not done a great job in run blocking for this football team. They've gone to a full zone. It has not showed up. Kellen Moore's tried to get creative. They've used a ton of different offensive linemen and combinations trying to find the right one. I will say this. The things that San Francisco does well presents a problem for the Cowboys. The Cowboys want to rush the passer with Lawrence, Gregory, Parsons, and they can do it as well as anybody in the NFL. But you're not going to have a quarterback who's sitting at 6 yards trying to throw it for San Francisco. They're going to boot. They're going to waggle. They're going to run downhill. They're going to use Deebo Samuel in the backfield. They're going to split him out. They're going to use Ayuk. They're going to try to use Kittle. They're going to use all different types of combinations and motions to get the Dallas Cowboys to play on their heels. They're not going to play a game where they're going to drop back and let Jimmy Garoppolo lose the game by turning it over. They're going to make Dallas have to go the long way to score. They're not going to give up big plays. And they present pass rushing issues for that Cowboys offensive line, especially with Tyron Smith. With his injuries, he's got to stay healthy and play well in these playoffs. That starts this week. When you think about what the 49ers can do defensive line-wise, rushing the quarterback, I'm just telling you from the matchup, there's a reason it's at 3. The matchup presents problems if, and it's a big If Jimmy G can play good football, not great, but good football, the 49ers will have a chance to win this game in the fourth quarter. That is a concern if you're the Dallas Cowboys. Because, again, Dak, I don't think that Dak himself is going to play bad. I think he'll play lights out. But will that be enough with as many touches as they get to win the game? I'm not predicting the 49ers are winning yet. I haven't even picked the game. But I'm telling you, it's a problem for the Cowboys because of the matchup.
But, Key, you sound like you have more confidence in Dallas than Jeff
Absolutely.
does. So what would you say is the ceiling for the Cowboys in the playoffs?
I think they could go to Green Bay. And I think they go to Green Bay, and then at that point, it's a coin toss.
Wow. Okay, so you have a lot of confidence.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely, I do. They've gone to Green Bay before.
Yeah.
Think about it several years ago when they went into Green Bay in the Des Bryant catch, not catch sort of thing. Green Bay played them again in the playoffs. Not Brett Favre, geez. Aaron Rodgers had to make the Brett Favre throw at the end to get him out of it. So when you look at it, I think that is a good matchup for the Dallas Cowboys and not so great for the Green Bay Packers. But that's just me. I don't, Jeff knows.
Yeah.
It's just me.
Listen, I will be honest. I have lost my confidence in the Cowboys when I've watched their offense. They dominate against NFC East teams, and I get that. They light them up, and they played the Eagles JV squad and blew them out. I get all, and they did look sharp. They did look crisp. When they play non-NFC East teams, they don't put up those same numbers. They're not physical and they're not explosive. That's concerning. I wanted to see Amari Cooper have a much bigger season this year than he has. He has to step up in the playoffs. The chemistry between he and Dak is vital if they're going to go. CeeDee Lamb has proved it, but with the injuries on the outside, this is a big game for these guys. I ain't writing home with these guys quite yet with you, Key.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.